Hello everybody, I'm Bella Big, and today in this video I want to share the most valuables I learned from Tori Trades, lessons that can seriously improve your trading game even if you're a beginner trader and you're still in your learning phase or you working on your prop firm challenge. One of the first things you notice watching Tori Trades is how simple her charts are. There's no indicators basically. Also, she used only price action, so everything is clear except what price actually does. So you have less noise and more confidence on your trading because what you see is only price action, trend line, and key zones. And that's the basic of the trading. So she really taught me, or taught a lot of people, I think she's really popular on YouTube, that trading doesn't have to be complicated. And at the beginning when I was learning from a lot of different traders, I would think that trading is so complicated and you have to be so smart to know what to do, and it would take you ages and 2, 3, 4, 5 years to be profitable. In reality, what you have to know is clear signs, you have to know is clear strategy, and in general understanding what price is doing for you to be able to trade and be profitable. Second, a patience is a skill. When you see Tori Trades, and especially her a lot of videos, I binge watched all of her videos after I realized her strategy from, I believe I watched her first time from Chart Fanatics. It's a YouTube podcast with a lot of popular traders, profitable traders sharing their strategies. And after I saw her video, I was like, damn, that aligns with me so much, because what she does is she waits for her setups to come. She doesn't chase it. She doesn't glue herself to a chart and wait until price does what it needs to do. And that actually changed my life, because before that I used to feel big FOMO whenever I'm not on the chart. I would think, oh, what if I miss something? What if I miss great setup? I always have to go double check, double D what's chart doing all the time, and that took my personal life away, and my relationships started getting bad because I would just think about the trades and charts all the time, right? So what she does is she puts alarms on the trend lines. That was great for me because I would just put all alarms all over the trades that I'm interested to take, and I would get a notification on my phone whenever I need to enter. So I would minimalize my time on the charts. I would do just 1 hour per day when I have to just set up the alarms and wait until there's an A+ setup waiting for me, right? So that made me feel like charts working for me, and I'm not me working for the charts. This is what I learned from her, and that was the great thing that doubled my game, leveled up my game. The third thing is understanding the market structure. Whenever you learn from Tori Trades, you realize what's her strategy, and her strategy is basically clear structure, price action, key zones, and liquidity. You don't have to know any of this, what I told you. The trend lines makes everything simpler for you, right? Even though it grabs all of the above, you don't have to complicate things for yourself. So once you understand, and this is what I learned from her, once you understand structure, you stop guessing. You have more confidence, and you can call yourself a trader, not the person who sits and has being so overwhelmed with all of the setups and not being confident at all on any of them. Right now, with her strategy, I can tell what's A+ setup. I can tell what's the retest, where is the biggest profitability, and I can know what's a low risk and high risk. And that gave me the feeling that I'm actually a trader. I understand what I'm doing. You also see that she emphasizes risk management. So if you risk 1% to 2% of your capital, then in the long run, even if you're winning only 50% of the times, you still growing your account. Why? Because you have a good risk management and your winners bigger than your losses, right? That keeps your account afloat or growing. Both way great for us, right? The only difference what I realized when I started doing prop firm challenge with this strategy is that Tori, she has her own account and her own capital that gives her freedom of whenever she sees a good A+ setup, she can risk 5%. So whenever you go over her videos and trades over the year, you can see that for last year she was trading, and the year before, with average 5 to 7% of every trade, like a risk of 5 to 7% of her capital for every trade. This is how she was able to double and triple her account in 2 years. But with the prop firm challenges, it's a little bit complicated because you have a limitation of max drawdown per day overall. So you have to be a little bit flexible. And I usually, in this channel, I talk about how to pass a prop firm challenge and my own journey of passing prop firm challenge and how to combine them together with the strategy. I always share that. Actually not always, I just started. So if you could follow up, would be great. But she also told, this is what I learned from her too, that 1% is great for beginners. Even if it's your own capital, 1% is always great. You're gonna have a slower growth, but you're gonna have a growth rather than people who use 5%, 10%, 15% off. That's crazy actually. Stop loss, and they blow their account in 5 trades. That's crazy, right? We don't want that. Also, what I learned from Tori is watching Tori Trades videos, I learned that emotional control, she's really calm and she has a mindset that was really great, treating losses as fees. So whenever you look at her videos, you quite frequently hear that she talks about her losses as fees. And I had another profitable trader who would talk about the same concept, but he would say that it's a business expense. So whenever you run a business, you're gonna have a business expense. Any business has that. For example, you own a company, you make profit of certain money, right? Just imagine you made 100% profit. 20% has to go to employee salaries, buying things, rent. If you have some clinic, you have to pay rent, you have to keep afloat your business, and that's inevitable. Same thing with the losses. Sometimes you lose just because you did everything great, A+ setup, you entered the trade by the playbook, but it went against you, and that's okay. And that confidence and calmness and her transparency about it gave me more confidence and understanding that it's okay. You don't have to stress about it. If you have good risk management and you always doing by the book, you entering the trade by the book, you're gonna be profitable at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, right? So that gave me a great confidence on me. What I learned from her is she learns from her mistakes and she's open about her mistakes. And even though we're talking about the losses that are inevitable, right? Losses that it's just what happened, right? But sometimes you actually make mistakes. Your trade was poor, your decision was poor because of you didn't follow the playbook and you did certain mistakes. So she always shares that. And I was like, damn, she's a human. She's not some alien or special person that only she can do that. So that gave me also confidence. And I messed up a few times with my prop firm whenever I just started. And I saw like, I'm cool with this. I learned the good things. She also taught me how to journal. I started journaling, and when I went back and looked at my mistakes, I actually realized that most of them were evitable, and I learned. And now the next trades I took were on profit because I learned from my mistakes, right? Our goal is not to be perfect, but be consistent and be open to learn. I always talk about the strategy, trendline strategy, combining with prop firm challenges. Their limitation, their rules, because it's a little bit different. So you have to have a slightly different mindset, because when you have your own capital like she does, it's less relatable. So if you're interested on prep firms, if you're interested about having or building your capital through prep firms, so whenever you make some money on the prep firm, moving it to your personal account and growing it, so you at the end will not be depending on the prep firms and just use it as a tool to grow your own account and then just start trading your account. This channel is going to be all about it. So follow up. If you have questions, please write down below. Also, big shout outs to Tori Trades. I really appreciate her, and I'm going to leave her YouTube down below if you want to know more about strategy itself. You can check Chart Fanatics. What I did actually, I took their playbook of Tori Trades through Chart Fanatics and I just printed. So here you can see it's totally her strategy. I just like having it on my hand so I can read all over, all the time. Guys, thank you so much.